Hi, beautiful beings of light. This is Yana, and welcome to my video. Today is the equinox, so happy equinox. I just got back from the beach. It was a beautiful day. The ocean, the sun, sunshine, the sand. I was meditating, of course, bringing the divine justice online. But that requires lots of strength and inner preparation, lots of inner work. So we'll see how everything goes, unfolds. I'll speak about the 13 principles of universal laws, because in my previous videos I talk about the divine Pleiadian laws. Okay, and this is material from Lisa Renee that you can find on her website energeticsynthesis.com, or you can download it from my website yanakalai.com. So we'll see. It's all coming. It's all coming, and we have to be extremely positive. We have to be strong. We have to be in our center. That's actually what teaches us. The universal laws are teaching all that. So there's this power in those universal natural laws. Okay, so studying them, embodying them, that's how we are mastering ourselves and bring the divine justice online. Okay, because we've been hijacked. The consciousness of humanity has been hijacked, and we lived in this false reality, false matrix for quite some time, for thousands of years. And we're the change makers, right? We're the system busters, we're the renegades, the spiritual warriors. And we came here with a specific mission assignment to fulfill the divine plan on earth. So let it be. Hallelujah. Let there be light. Victory of the light. So yes, I will go over those laws. Okay, so I'll do some reading as well, so be patient with me. I am studying that along with you. So but at the same time, I've read, or I'm understanding more of those laws each and every day. I mean, it's a process, and I've known about universal laws for quite some time. So, and now is the time to talk about the universal laws. What are they, and how to apply them in our everyday lives. So welcome. My YouTube channel is Jana Savinska. My website is yanakalai.com. Email kalyana82@gmail.com. My videos are for educational, entertainment, and informational purposes. I'm here to inspire you, empower you, giving information the way I interpret it through my soul signature, energy signature. How you guys then interpret what I'm sharing with you becomes your world, your reality, and what you do with it is your responsibility, as we are very powerful co-creators with the divine. We're watching our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, even our thoughts, our deeds and actions. Of course, thoughts, being very mental. Because, we're powerful emitters, transmitters of energies. Mind is extremely powerful. Okay, so time to register our thoughts. Be mindful, be aware, be thoughtful, considerate, right? Take a deep breath. Just check with your mind, check with your thoughts, your thought forms, your emotions. Be in your heart. Give yourself that extra love. Forgive yourself. Because this is a school. We're learning our lessons. Right? And now so many people are awakening. There's a shift in consciousness because we're entering the new golden age, Aquarius. And we are ascending, we're transitioning. We're going to the next octave, Harmonic Universe number 2. Where everything's about soul connection, consciousness expansion, living in peace, harmony, unity, Christos Sophia consciousness. And of course, my videos are for my beloved soul group, my tribe, star seeds, indigo warriors, spiritual warriors, rainbow warriors, truth seekers, empath sensitives, whistleblowers, very powerful, delicate souls who've been abused and violated, tortured. I know what that means, like, what it feels like. Because I'm talking from my own experience. Right? But we can heal all that. That's why we study the universal laws. We can transform everything. and we can exit that false matrix. We can elevate ourselves from that draconian society, right? And totally transmute the negativity of those negative aliens with their negative alien agenda. It's all coming online because we can trace everything to the original intent. And now it's going to be more and more evident who is who, right? There's also bifurcation of consciousness. Now you may see people from a different angle. You thought these people were so great and so taking care of people, and suddenly maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it's not that way. That's why doing the inner work. The gamma rays frequencies are here. Very powerful frequency energies. The plasma activation is happening. Our DNA is being upgraded as well, right? Especially when you're in nature, you're on the sun or on beach in the mountains, meditating or levitating, hugging a tree, being nice to each other, loving yourself unconditionally. This is all now doable, or these energies are here of Divine Mother, Holy Mother. So we can heal ourselves, healing our wounds, right? That's going to be a major thing. All this trauma, drama. Look at people, some people's dysfunctional relationships. We can change it. But you have to do the inner work. Study the natural laws, the universal laws. That will help you in so many ways. Invoking the violet flame, transformation, transmutation. Such a powerful, sacred flame, a ray of creation. Very powerful. It cleanses your mind, cleanses your feeling, cleanses your body, cleanses your emotions. So you can think clearly. And you can understand yourself. Who are you? Why did you come here to this planet? What is your mission? What are your gifts and talents that you want to share with the world and be of service? This is going to be the major theme now. Know yourself, be free. Know how to exit the matrix, the false matrix, that false narrative, the computer simulation of the archons of the fallen ones, right? Perpetuating constant war, all these proxy wars with the draconian measurements, with the constitution being suspended. That's why we're resurrecting the energies of the original constitution, the energies of Atlantis, the rising Atlantis, right? The energies of the true Republic of America with the 13 colonies. And so on, the true forefathers, the true patriots, the true Templars in Christ, the Christos Templars, being aligned with God's divine will and God's divine law, opposed to the Luciferian Knights Templars, with their satanic agenda, with pedophilia, right? Drug running, gun running, money laundering. We see the energetics. That's why the way I talk to is on that energy level. Okay. And then, of course, we have the players here in this physical realm. Everybody's playing their role. What is your role that you're playing? Understand that. Kingdom of Heaven is within you. Know yourself and be free. This is a stage, right? It's like a Shakespearean platform here. It's like a theater. And we're the actors and actresses. So which role are you playing, or where are you with your consciousness? Time to free yourself, free your mind, expand, feel your divinity, your multi-dimensionality, and feel your purpose. Why you came here to this planet. We all have our mission and very important role to play. Okay? That's why the universal laws that will also set us free and help us with the divine justice, bring the divine justice online. That's why I am also working on the New Earth jurisdiction with the Galactic Codex implementation and bringing the natural laws online as well. Very important to align with natural laws, right? Because that will guide us to the new paradigm, to paradise, 5D consciousness, even higher, right? Some of us are coming from extremely high planes of existence, high dimensions. So very important to manifest our highest purpose and bring heaven on earth. So the law of mentalism, that's actually the law of oneness. That's the cosmic sovereign law of unity. All things share a connection with the universal mind, and therefore are subjected to the law of structure that creates all things. So we're bringing the divine order here through the divine structure, divine law. Okay, the law of one, the law of mentalism. All things are made of intelligent energy that is expressed through the energetic substance. So all is one. This is the pure consciousness of infinite intelligence, and it expresses itself through the principles of natural laws. So when we align with the natural laws, right, we're aligning with that divine intelligence. We start understanding the creation and what this life is all about, and how to live our lives purposely, with meaning, in abundance and prosperity, happiness, right? Joy. So all things are created from a state of mind, quality of thought, and that which has been co-created within a system of energy, such as planetary consciousness, this planet. Everything that we observe in the manifested world is the result of a mental state, a belief system that has preceded it. What are your beliefs? What are your thoughts? What are you generating? What are you putting out there? That's where they're hijacking or they're controlling us. The mind control, MK Ultra, black magic, witchcrafting, right? Putting all kinds of curses, hexes on us. Because human's mind is extremely powerful. The negative knows that. They understand the energies. They understand the energies of our mind. That's why they were doing all these horrible experimentations in the underground to see how the mind operates, how the brain waves operate, right? Through LSD and all these drugs, and then tyranny and torture. So they can instill the totalitarianism here, the one world order. They study very powerful beings like us, divine human beings, so they can imprison us, and we're their batteries, and they're the parasites. Time is up for them. Divine justice, but we have to be responsible, extremely responsible. Study the universal laws, very important, okay? Because it's for our personal well-being and spiritual growth. Those are things, and they are the seeds from which our garden grows. And in order to change the harvest, we must first plant new seeds. Remember, everything also has an energy. Every word has an energy. A spoken word or written word has an energy. It's time to read the energetics. Time to read the energy, the effect that the word has or the action has. Because we not only live in this physical world, material world, and so on, but also we are surrounded by the invisible, unseen world, which is actually much more powerful. Because we're energy, we're 99.9% energy, 0.1% matter. The law of correspondence shows us that which is expressed from the inner world is matched in what expresses in the outer world, and vice versa. So what is manifested in the material world reflects the quality of the thought behind the pattern from the unmanifested layers. So there is a correspondence between multiple planes of reality. Right? We talk about the physical plane, mental plane, emotional plane, spiritual plane. And also the correspondence happens or has to be integrated on that individual level, that's the microcosm, and collective level, macrocosm. Okay. And to understand the nature of problems and life lessons, we'll look beyond the linear thinking of the issue, because everything has its energy. Yeah, that 3D mind needs to go and needs to be transformed, transmuted. Start seeing, feeling the energies. Open your third eye, decalcify your pineal gland, so you see what is behind all that. So many things happening in the unseen world, so many things happening behind the stage. So start reading the energies. So look at what exists in the energetic layers that created that situation or that issue, to see the patterns and the shadows of what generated that situation. Patterns and the shadows, because we live in duality. And the law of correspondence informs us of the original intent and quality of thought forms that were used to co-create a manifestation. So everything can be traced to the origin, because everything interconnects. Everything is connected, right? We're now connecting the dots, and it's a process. It's very transformational. It's very healing, but it requires lots of inner work, lots of meditation, purifying the mind, right? The thought forms needs to be pure, clear. So everything is then revealed. You can see the bigger picture with purity, with precision, in God's perfection. The law of polarity. Things so may appear as opposites are actually varying degrees of positive and negative poles, or one of the two sides of the same thing. There are two sides of polarity that exist within everything. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. And the opposites are identical in nature, but exist in different degrees. That's why it's so important to be in your center, to observe everything, witness everything. Don't engage in this dualistic world that has been negatively polarized, right? Then people go into extremes and they don't know what to do, how to center yourself. Go into your center, go into your heart, breathe, meditate or sit down, go to nature, start watching your thoughts, right? Like, for example, here, so what it says that everything has its poles, right? The two sides of one thing. Let's say the energy, the emotional energy of love and hate, right? That's actually one thing. But how do you then kind of recognize when the hate stops and the love begins, right? It's a degree, it's your perception. That's why clear your perceptions. You know, activate your extrasensory perceptions. Heal your vagus nerve, because we're dealing with those entities, whether Satanists and Luciferians and so on. For them, torture and pain, they want to justify it because they think it brings them joy, right? For them, hate is love. I don't know how to describe it. They hate God. But everything comes from our Creator. Everything comes from God. How can you hate God if God is within us, within you? Okay, but the reversal system. So it's very complex. You know, I've studied the negative alien agendas from, Lisa Renee's newsletters for 4 years. So, and, understanding the energetics, because so many things happened to me and I couldn't explain them. It happened on the energy level, the astral plane, so-called unseen. So that's why also the way I teach, I teach it that way, on that energy kind of realm. So not everybody understands that, that's all, but that's okay. I'm just kind of telling you guys, like, we have to start being responsible for our perceptions, right? For our actions. How are we feeling? But understand or know, we can always change it because of the universal laws. And and hold everything in neutrality and be the compassionate witness. So every person, every place, thing that will have an energetic polarity in particle matter and is double in antiparticle matter. And that combination is balanced or weighted in one form of energetic polarity or its opposite. Ultimately, our spiritual goal is to unify and link up the particle matter and the antiparticle matter of our consciousness and body. It's called polarity integration. That's why people are still shoving things under the carpet. They don't want to look at the darkness and the negativity. And I see it here, especially here in the United States, the sugar-coatedness and not really talking about the negative stuff or what bothers us, what is bubbling or all these things that we have suppressed, oppressed. We've been dumbed down, and really some people not having good food or diet, right? Not healthy lifestyle, not exercising, not going to nature, being in front of TV or computer all the time. The light is here, the light divine, extremely powerful frequencies are here, gamma rays. So everything is surfacing, everything is to surface. So don't be shocked or don't be shocked when people will start going crazy or nuts, because everything has to be seen for what it is. Everything has to be acknowledged and then transformed through our heart. Because our heart center is very powerful. Love is powerful. Being that loving vibrations, for me, is invocation of the violet flame. It can transmute all this negativity back into the light divine, who we truly are. We are the eternal living light. Okay, so this process of polarity integration and staying in our heart, that's how you achieve mental alchemy and transmutation of the lower vibration of fear. Law of rhythm. So everything, moves in a motion, right? There's like a pendulum-like movement, and everything's circle is a circular motion. So everything is vibrating. We're sound, light, frequency vibration. So there is rhythm between every pair of opposites or poles that is always undulating and always changing. When we are in alignment to the law of rhythm, we understand that our mental state and biorhythm are governed by these patterns of oscillating movements in the macrocosm, cycles of life and death, rising and falling, creation, destruction, stellar alignments, and astrological influences. With the awareness of how this will manifest in our lives, we can adjust ourselves to return to energetic balance. When we feel the pendulum thrusting us off kilter or backwards into extremes. So many people live in extreme lives, right? Extremes, like all these extremes. Find your center. Be in your heart. Live simply. Simple living, high thinking, right? Transmute your mind. Embrace the darkness. Acknowledge it. Look at it. So then you can shine the light on it. Very important. Okay. That will also help us to change behaviors. Very important to embody soul's virtues, morals, ethics. Because we're divine, right? We are representing the cosmos, the divine intelligence. We're children of God. God is within us. We have the divine spark of our Creator within that sacred chamber of our heart. And of course, that also requires self-mastery. We came here to master ourselves, master our energies, especially the sexual energy, right? And the mental energies. Because what I've noticed, especially my experience, right? That's what's been hijacked and perpetrated and kind of stolen, and they constantly being targeted. So the negative ones don't want to do the inner work, right? They're doing awful, nasty stuff. So the heinous crimes, they're going to be exposed 100%. Everything's coming to the light, right? And this is our responsibility to study the universal law so we can bring everything to the divine justice. And it's a lots of inner work. Hard work. It is a hard work, but we have to be strong in our light. Persevere. Put on that armor of God, right? Those who are the spiritual warriors. right? Also of the blue flame, because we're dealing with those usurpers of God's divine will. They abuse the law. They abuse the jurisdiction here. They abuse the energies. They're abusing people, children, guys in the military, torture, tyranny, and they don't want to face the consequences. Time to face it. Time to acknowledge it. Time to correct it. Learn your lessons, right? Accept the Galactic Codex. Very important. So that's why being the compassionate witness with everything that happened to us, that's how we enter the 0 point. And that will help us to transcend, be above that law of rhythm or polarity. Transcendental state of consciousness allows us to rise above the swing of the pendulum. When we are strong and capable to maintain neutral in the chaos of rising and falling forces, we are then able to act in alignment to our highest purpose and spiritual mission. Law of suggestion. So during our lives, right, there's been a total sum of accumulated thoughts and beliefs that have been suggested to us, right, through spoken words and direct experiences, interpretations of life, whether consciously, subconsciously, through our spiritual bodies. So very important to gather your inner strength that is required to go beyond what is spoken and heard or what you were forced to believe. Right? You know, or the way we were conditioned. We were conditioned. All this dumbing down, all this mind control, programming from the false matrix, right? They have extremely high technology to do so. That's why holding observer point without attachment. Be in this world but not out of it. Only attach to that heaven that is within you. Do the inner work. Be careful also what you put out there, your spoken word, right? That's how you manifest things. We already mentioned that thoughts are things. That's why focus on positive thoughts, loving behavior. Express the virtues of your heart, of your soul, of your oversoul, of your spirit. To abuse this natural law, the people of Earth are subjected to electronic harassment. Like I'm here right now. And mind control bombardment, which interferes with the spoken and heard suggestions subliminally. This is scrambling our DNA signals that we generally receive more inorganic artificial messages rather than organic and authentic messages from divine intelligence until we begin to spiritually ascend and awaken. So they want to override our consciousness, right? Those controllers, the negative ones. They want to also weaken our personal will, our emotional desires to succeed and to expand and to ascend. That's why implementing the Galactic Codex. The Galactics are here. Ashtar Command, Galactic Command, the Pleiadians. So the controllers use complex layers of fear programming through subconscious suggestion. And it blocks our mind and personal will to manifest clearly. To gain emotional clarity, we must tame the unruly nature of our personal instinctual desires and negative emotions and direct the inner fire of our actions to serve personal enlightenment on the road of achieving consciousness freedom. We have to be devoted, dedicated to our path of ascension, to our healing, to our transformation, helping others, be of service. Right? Lots of focus, lots of devotion, dedication, determination, perseverance, being focused. Here we are here on a mission to fulfill the divine plan on earth. So that's why it is, we have to open our heart, open our mind, right? Then synchronization, sync. You're syncing the mind with the heart. That's how you expand, how you grow, and how you rise above that fear-based suggestions, all these programming, conditioning, and so on. You have to purify your mind. So that's how you then transcend the artificial suggestions being broadcasted into your mind, body, and spirit. And time to reprogram the fear-based consciousness or suggestions into loving kindness. So, you can achieve spiritual goals by actualizing your spiritual mission and blueprint. The energy centers, right? The chakras. Very important to cleanse them, purify them. They carry solar light, the light of the divinity, of the divine. How do you cleanse them, purify them? Raise your frequency vibration, right? Very important to practice high quality of your thoughts, of your emotions. And very important, right, to also, through that purity, devotion, dedication to our goal, to our mission, we co-create a harmonious and peaceful environment for ourselves and others. We need to embody the full actualization of our inner light source. That's the reflection of our inner sun, S-U-N. But we must learn how to use our life force and energy resources properly in alignment to our heart-based and authentic spiritual being. Directing our personal power in alignment to our higher purpose in service to others. Not service to self, but service to others. That's how we increase the likelihood of our ability to transmit the spiritual power of the soul light, to create the peaceful state of the Garden of Eden in our personal life, collectively, and also globally as well. Through the soul light, the sun, we feel loving vibrations and gain immense spiritual power and strength. Thus, this consciousness principle is also connected to the building of our light body and is referred to as the law of strength. Remember, the power, the strength comes from the power of your soul, of your light divine, who you truly are. That's the true, real power. And again, it comes from God, from source, right? From that sacred mind. So, being hooked or connected to that universal awareness. Loving God with all your heart, mind, and soul. The law of response. So it means when we genuinely seek guidance and help from spiritual energetic realms, we pray or ask directly for that guidance and support, we will always receive a response. It is our responsibility to learn how to listen to the whisper of the stillness of our heart. For that direct response to our question, allow ourselves to be in beginner's mind to receive the answer to a request. We must ask directly and state our request for help as clearly as possible with loving vibrations. Keep asking, intending to connect with God, with Source, with Spirit. So communicate in feelings, emotions, and animations. That's how the consciousness realm communicates. In feelings, emotions, and animations. It guides us through our sensory feelings. But when we feel lost in the darkness and chaos of this world, blinded by the fear or confusion of the negative ego, we can always ask for help and get a response. Very important to discern a situation. Stay open-minded. Right? There's the light within. It will ignite a spark, allowing the ego to dissolve in the light. That's how we can receive those inner messages. Knock and it shall be open unto you, Christ said. That's the law of response. The law of response is interpreted as the golden rule. The golden rule is the most essential basis for the modern concept of human rights. So we're implementing the law of response, right? The golden rule. And the golden rule is an ethical code, moral truth that essentially states one should treat others as one would like others to treat oneself. Right? We have to demonstrate it. We have to walk that path. We have to walk our talk. It is commonly referred as do unto others. This concept describes a two-way relationship between oneself and others. Involves both sides equally and in a mutual benefit of win-win fashion. So it is a powerful statement principle to live one's life by, right? By this golden rule, the law of response. The law of cause and effect. So whatever quality of energy is generated from thought, emotion, or behaviors, this combination sets into motion a cycle of energy that must eventually return back to its causal source, completing its circuit or cycle. Right? Everything moves in a circle of motion. So everything is like a boomerang. Whatever we send out there, it will come back to us. There are many dimensional planes of causation, but nothing will escape the law, because at the end of the cycle, all is accounted for. So it is up to each of us to understand and make proper use of this law, because on the path of expanding consciousness, we learn that we will have to answer for our actions. We will account for the energy we were given. There's no such thing as randomness, chance, as there is a cause for every effect, an effect for every cause. The empowering point of aligning to this principle is to make the conscious choice to rise above the negative or limiting thought forms of the masses and choose to become your own cause in reality. Very important. Stop playing the game of the negative ones, right? That's the rise above the archetypal roles of victim, victimizer, master, slave, right? These people did it, and I'm the victim, and the right judging, criticizing. We have to take our power back, right? We the people, we're the government, God within, under God's law, aligned with God's will. And that requires lots of inner work and lots of inner strength. We have to raise our vibration, right? We have to increase the light quotient, because the power lies in that light, the strength of our light, that inner strength. Okay. So very important to understand that, okay? Positive and loving actions bring positive and loving results. Negative and fear-based actions bring negative and fear-based results. Our actions bring our own results through the quality based in the polarity chosen, love or fear. So choose. You're choosing to be with the positive forces or with the negative forces. Everything has this cause and effect. So when we experience time to choose, to experience the freedom, right? You have to choose. What kind of decisions are you making each and every day? Are you choosing contentment or chaos? Are you choosing enlightenment or delusion? Learning from our mistakes is the process of cultivating right thinking and right alignment. If our pain increases, the awareness is that change and transformation of the way we do things is required. As a result, we must be very clear about our personal value system and where we place our attention, time, and focus. As where we direct our interest will initiate movement forward through the law of cycles in either love or fear vibrations. Know that you're powerful. And even though so many people live in fear, or they have a very fearful belief system, right? Know that you can overcome it. You can transform it, transmute it. You can rise above it. The universal laws will teach you how. Right? Being in your center, be the compassionate witness, just loving yourself, invoke that violet flame. That's what I teach, or the quantum manifestation, Marina Jacobi, right? So there are so many tools. Law of transformation, here we go. Everything can be transformed, right? So everything is transformation from energy into another form. Consciousness moves throughout the timelines in a perpetual state of death and rebirth. For the purposes of spiritual growth, we will encounter many situations and events that will constantly evolve and change, and these situations end. And as these situations end, transformation occurs in which new situations will take their place. All of the experiences we have, the change and transformation that we have endured, is intelligent consciousness information, acquired knowledge that we will take with us wherever we go. The ego death occurs when the false identity and all way of thinking dies, and an aspect of ourselves is reborn. This also encompasses the consciousness principle of the law of transformation. To achieve the inner alchemy of synthesizing the polarity of the energies that we're exposed to, we're constantly transforming the energies, transforming ourselves, transforming the timelines. And that's how we're elevating ourselves towards achieving spiritual liberation and transcendence. So yeah, that's how we move through various portals of change and transformation through our life. And we move into another dimension of reality. The law of transformation is magnified by the importance of its position in our universal time matrix, and that is directly infused with the law of alchemy that instigates spiritual ascension. Law of alchemy, Saint Germain and his violet flame of transformation, transmutation, freedom, liberation, joy, divine mercy, and grace and forgiveness. Law of transcendence. So through the pursuit of enlightenment and the result of the awakened consciousness, the ego loses dominance and we recognize the flow of the divine, the spirit within everything. We naturally choose to consciously participate in co-creating with God's source in order to generate more goodness for everyone on the earth. The law of transcendence is the moment we experience the secret vibration of love as omnipresent. We feel the mind of God permeating our mind, and we're able to grasp universal knowledge beyond the state of reasoning without the assistance of the current human belief system. Through our inner state of heightening the superconsciousness experience, we gain direct knowing from perfect concentration, and the alignment to the greater purpose of divine will is known, and that knowledge supersedes all self-preoccupation and personal desires. Through transcendence of the earthly personality, we become aware of our consciousness power to understand the operation of general causes and effects, observing the natural laws in action, focus on the consciousness direction of attaining truth, virtue, ethics, morals, moral character, communing with the Spirit of Christ. During the law of transcendence is the moment we embody the greater truth and realization of our spiritual being, knowing our purpose, experiencing our relationship to the God, Creator. And in the face of this truth, we give up everything so that we can receive something much, much greater value. The law of transcendence removes the veils of light and time. We experience true unity with God, Samadhi, Nirvana, Satchitananda, bliss. And to experience the interconnection that exists in all things, the truth of our purpose is revealed to us. We see the laws in creation, and we are filled with awe at the magnificence and beauty of God's natural creation. So this is what happens. Right? When we are in our hearts, we are understanding the universal laws, right? We follow God's divine will, or we align with that, right? Studying it, purifying our senses, our chakras, our energy field, being devoted, dedicated to God, to source, to what is, to our mission. We know our purpose, why we are here. Then we are experiencing the heightened state of super consciousness. It's the high vibration is very elevating. You're experiencing the unity, the oneness, yoga, right? Union with the divine. You know God, you feel God, because it's a reflection of you. Everything is a mirror, right? You just have to be devoted, dedicated, and focused, determined, persistence, continuity. Don't give up. It's the victory of the light. Okay, my beloveds, I will end here because it's very intense and just kind of I have to kind of settle in my heart. I've been bombarded here, or just, you know, just I'm feeling the intensity here of the energies and the work that we're doing, or I'm doing. It's very rewarding, but at the same time I have to be very careful, right? Talking about the natural laws and bringing everything into divine justice, it takes lots of energy, focus energy, lots of responsibility, and lots of work. Okay, my beloveds, I just leave it like this. Enjoy the rest of the day or new day. You know, things are changing. Know that everything is according to divine will. Everything is happening according to divine plan. You know, kingdom of heaven is within. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Be the observer, the witness, right? Stay in your center, in your heart, in that luminosity of your divine self. Many blessings and namaste. Bye-bye.